Hey guys, All In Crypto here and welcome back ladies and gentlemen for another YouTube video. In this video we are going to be discussing the death cross that is essentially looking like it may become a reality for Bitcoin and what this means. There are a lot of people quite worried about this. Well, I am here to be the voice of reason, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you why I actually don't think this is a bearish thing at all. I think death crosses can play a role. Golden crosses and death crosses can certainly play a role when you're trying to predict the sentiment and the kind of direction that the market is moving in. However, I think in this case, ladies and gentlemen, in a similar way to how back in March, and we've really compared this recent sell-off with March 2020, where you can see you did indeed form a death cross, but this was temporary and really looked more like a fake out than everything. Even if we did form a death cross, guys, I really don't think that it would mean much. In actual fact, it could be an indicator that, you know, Bitcoin really has bottomed and we're going to continue from here. When you're looking at EMAs, and what a death cross is essentially is it's the 50 EMA in comparison when the 50 EMA crosses over the 20 EMA. Essentially, that isn't a good sign in most cases. However, in this case, guys, I largely don't think it's going to matter, and I'm going to tell you why that is. We're going to look at previous times we've had death crosses and why they haven't really mattered, and we're also going to be looking at Amazon again, because you guys know that I really like to compare Bitcoin here with Amazon back in, you know, this is the 1990s, towards the end of the 1990s, where you had this kind of bubble phase, you know, the dot-com boom, and then after that, you know, you really saw many death crosses, and what they really were they were a short-term, you know, they didn't really mean much, guys, because you can see if you zoom out, the overall trend is continuously up, and I think that really applies to Bitcoin. One reason you can sometimes signal a bear market or a bull market via death crosses. You know, you can see here you have, when you're entering the bear market, it's a confirmed bear market when you have a death cross, and you come out and you enter a bull market with your golden cross. So people are looking at this area right here, guys, and they're saying, oh no, you know, a death cross is forming. Could this mean we're going back into a bear market? If you compound that with the already sort of market sentiment, you know, some people get quite convinced that this is, you know, an extremely bad thing. And we can see that we have had death crosses before, like the March sell-off, like prior to that earlier, but they were short-lived and ultimately didn't really dictate the kind of longer direction of the market. And I think you were in a bull market for the entire crypto space. You know, you can see Amazon had plenty of death crosses form, but they were all short-lived, like this example here. You know, where you had a death cross form, but you came straight back out of it and made your V-shaped recovery, and that's ultimately what I think Bitcoin is going to do now. We've made the call that Bitcoin bottomed right here, and we made that when we bottomed. I'm also going to now share with you a number of sort of news articles. We're going to be going back to, we did say we are kind of expecting a bit of a short squeeze here, because every time you get overextended with your shorts, it really leads to an influx of buyers coming in, and you get kind of short squeezed, if you will. Remember, this is only Bitfinex. There are plenty of other exchanges that will have different ratios to shorts and buyers. But ultimately, guys, I really do think that the tides are turning for these, and the whole market essentially is changing in terms of sentiment. So Bitcoin holders become net buyers for the first time since October as death cross looms. This is plan B. He's also going over it again. And what I really want to focus to you guys in, and this is one of the most important things to do as an investor, certainly in the crypto space, is ignore the news. Ignore the media, because it is largely propagated. They're trying to get you to click on their article, so they will say outrageous things. And it drives this real kind of swaying tide in regards to sentiment, whether it's bullish or bearish. Here you have breaking news. Grayscale has added 2 billion worth of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, mainly Ethereum, Cardano, Link, and XRP over the weekend. So with all the doom and gloom, and we said from the start, look, you know, one reason we've been able to accumulate in this area in the way that we have is because we ultimately know and believe in cryptocurrencies, blockchain technology, and what it's going to bring to the world. So I really just thought that this video was important to make, because I'm having a lot of people that are kind of commenting or making remarks that, you know, we're about to form a death cross. Even if we did, guys, we've seen in prior experience, you know, we're not there yet. You can get dangerously close to it. This has happened time and time again. And ultimately, this could be a real indication that the market has indeed bottomed and Bitcoin is going to start its recovery. And you can see back in March, which is the sell-off, like I say, that we've really compared the most recent one to. It was a short-lived indicator, and people are really basing it on the fact that if you look back in 2018, it really did signal the bear market and that things weren't looking great. Vice versa, you know, it really kicked off the bull market leading up to 2017, and it's very based into the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory, etc., etc. So I really don't think you've got much to worry about, guys. We made a video ages ago when we started the channel, and for those of you who can cast your mind back, this was when Mt. Gox, some of the Bitcoin from Mt. Gox was essentially getting released and given back to some of the owners, and there was a big narrative that this was going to cause Bitcoin to crash, and it did the opposite. You know, the crypto market works in very mysterious and funny ways. And this is just another sign of that. So we are still anticipating that short squeeze. This, you know, you can see that your sellers are essentially already running out of momentum here. The hodler net position change has flipped green for the first time since October. This is another, sort of bullish metric that we're looking at. Guys, ultimately, we are still exceptionally bullish. I mean, we really are. There's not 1 ounce of... This was the last time, by the way, guys, when they're saying that the net buys for the first time since October, Bitcoin holders have become net buyers since the first time since October. This is October right here, guys. This area here is October. You can see what followed, and ultimately I do think you are going to recover from this. So we're very bullish. I just thought this was a short and sweet video to make where we really address this death cross and why I'm largely not worried about it and don't think you should be either. However, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is certainly not financial advice. Make sure you do your own due diligence and research. But I think a death cross in a bull market is, I mean, you can have them at various periods. We know that this sell-off was brutal due to the leverage in the system getting liquidated, etc., etc. There's so many variables, and you have to look at all sides of the coin in order to make an informed decision. So that is really all I have for you guys. Remember, Grayscale are still buying. You know, I'm sure there are plenty of other institutions that are doing the exact same thing. Meanwhile, they're trying to get you to part with your crypto. Don't listen to the news, don't listen to the media, just do your due diligence, look at the charts, look at what's actually happening behind the scenes, and you know the picture will become very clear. I'm going to love and leave you. We'll be back to normal tomorrow, guys, where we'll be bringing out regular update videos on things like Cardano, etc., etc. But that is all I have for you today, guys. I hope you're all having a fantastic Thursday. I'm going to love and leave you on that note. If you enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment, and hopefully I will see you all in tomorrow's YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gentlemen.